Hello everyone, this is Rick Passek, FlyFish Fanatic, and welcome to my tiny bench. Early morning here today. It's whatever date is, Labor Day, early September. I am today going to tie a fly out of this book, the Fly Pattern Encyclopedia. Great book, actually. And it's this one here that I'm retying. It's the Little Sunrise. I'll give you a close up of it in a second, but it's by Gretchen Beatty. You know, see if that'll show up or not. Uh, Little Sunrise by Gretchen Beatty, with my little twist, obviously. Um, I don't usually tie very many flies that are exactly the same as the original, so I always like tweaking things a little bit. There's some that I won't change, but yeah. So let's get her going. So today in the vise, I have a Mustad. Let's just make sure that's focused. I could focus it a bit better. A Mustad Predator size 2. I like tying this style of fly in a 4 and a 2. This one happens to be a 2. It is a fairly large hook, but I'll be using some Semperfli Classic waxed in the floral orange. I'll be using for the body. I'll be using some of the new Mopster chenille from Semperfli. For the first collar, I'll be using some foxtail dyed orange. For the second collar, I'll be using some Guinea Fowl large dot, one of those. And then for the tag, for the tail, just for the tag end there, I'm going to be using some Semperfli light gold. Copper's better, but I ran out of the copper, so it's all good. So I'm just going to start my thread up front here, bring it back, and I don't want to go any further than I actually want to be on this style of hook because it's got that little bit of a bend on the back here. I want to stay a little bit forward of that. So that's where I'm going to start my copper wire, or my, in this case, gold. So I'm going to go all the way forward again and tie that in. This gives a better body, right? So, and then I'm just going to give it one wrap right there, and then I'm going to go right in front of it. Keep on wrapping forward once you get it in there. It's early morning here. I wasn't able to sleep, so I figured get my butt out of bed and go do a tying video. So I actually did this video already, and then I realized, ah, damn, no sound. So, so I'm just going to give maybe about a ½ inch long tag here. Like that. Then I'll go back with my thread. I'll lock it down. A couple of good wraps. 3 wraps on top. A couple of 3 wraps in front. I'm just going to turn this so I can helicopter it off. For those of you that are new to fly tying out there, make sure you helicopter off your thread, your wires. First of all, it'll cut better. It'll actually it doesn't leave any sharp edge here. And second of all, you save your scissors, right? So I'm just going to come all the way back forward here. I'm going to take my Mopster chenille, just expose that tip a bit, the core just a bit, and then I'm going to go over top of it all anyway, all the way back. And if I go over my tag a bit, it's not a huge deal. Okay. Nice and tight. 5 turns for the body. It's a little bit of a turn just so I can see the core. And just make sure that's tied down nicely. Left myself plenty of room at the front here, because like I said, I've got to put on two different haulers. So I already prepped my foxtail. I'm just gonna get my dubbing spinner. That's one thing I didn't prep. Make sure it's cleaned off of any old residue. So give that a give my, even though it's wax thread, I still like waxing the thread, just making sure. Put my spinner on, and my foxtail in there. Pinch the thread a bit, spread this apart. Don't want it too bulky. Spread that apart nicely. Make sure it's in there like this. I might lose some of that in the middle, but that's okay. Really good spin up. And then I'm going to take my dubbing brush here. I'm just going to brush it out. Nice and spiky. And then I'm just going to wrap, and as I wrap, I'm going to make sure I'm right up against the mobster, and I'm going to stroke all that material back every time I come around. I don't get overly concerned if it's not all back, because I am going to brush it out anyway, right? So it's not a huge deal if it's not perfect at this point. More, more wrap right there. Get all back. Find my piece of thread there. That off. I'm going to take my brush. Just really give it a really aggressive brush out. Make sure to get all the fibers that may be trapped. Even take this, the shorter one here. It's a bit more. It's a bit stiffer. So I didn't knock it out of focus there. No. Just build a little bit of a spot for my next tie-in point here. So now I'm going to tie in my large dot guinea fowl. Tie this in by the tip. I expose my center. I fold that back. I can cut that if I want, but I'm going to leave it. Sometimes I leave it, sometimes I cut it. It depends how it looks. So, but I like having that fold back. It's just that extra little bit of security in holding it. So now I just take my time here and try to make sure I don't trap too many of the fibers. They will get, some of them will get trapped, but I don't worry about it too much because again, at the end here, I'm going to brush it out, right? So just give this one more, probably get one or maybe even 1.5 more turns out of it. There we go. just a little bit onto the, to force those back and to build a bit of a head. Off my guinea. You can helicopter off any pieces that are sticking out, or you can burn them off with a lighter. It's up to you. A nice significant little head. You know, you don't want a huge head, but you want it significant. Then whip finish off. Do one more set, and then I'll come in later with some head cement or some UV resin, whatever you like. Off. Take my brush, make sure those fibers are separated. Those guinea fowl fibers are separated, and you pulled out anything that's trapped. And there you go, my little version of the Little Sunrise by Gretchen Beatty right here. So that's my little version of it. Now I do have a slightly different version that I've tied. It's not quite as long. The fibers don't go as far back, and that's this one here. Let's see if it'll show up. Actually, I'll just take this one out. So this is the other one I tied for the other video, but the fibers aren't quite as far back, right? And the fibers in this one is rabbit. The fibers in this one, as you saw, is fox. I like the movement in fox. I use fox in a lot of my steelhead and a lot of my salmon flies. It allows things to pulsate because it's a little bit stiffer. So, but yeah, so that's my version of the Little Sunrise by Gretchen Beatty's original fly. Alrighty, well, I hope you guys enjoyed that one. If you did, give her a thumbs up. If you've subscribed, awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you have not, please consider doing so. And we'll see you guys on the next time video. Tie lines, everyone.